Imagine you are standing alone in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, rain lashes your face, and the world around you seems to collapse. What if I told you that, no matter what rages outside, there is a place inside you, a fortress that no storm can touch? How often do we allow the chaos of life, anger, fear, sadness, to pull us away from peace? How often do we lose control over ourselves because of things we cannot change? Think about your day just yesterday. Did someone's words disturb your calm? Did a sudden problem make your heart race? These moments happen to all of us. But what if we could train ourselves to remain untouched by them, to stand firm like an unmovable rock? Here's a simple example. A great storm will never break a mountain. It only tests its strength. Similarly, life's hardships are tests for our inner strength. They reveal whether we are mountains or sandcastles. Welcome to Book Boost. If you are ready to build a strength no one can shake, you are in the right place. Here, we dive deep into truths that awaken your power within. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss the wisdom that can change your life. Please drop down your one thought on believe in yourself in the comments below. Many have walked this path before us. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, who faced wars and betrayal yet kept his mind calm. Epictetus, who was once a slave but became a master of his emotions. Seneca, who taught that true power lies in control over oneself. Their message is clear. Nothing outside can harm you unless you allow it. We often believe that external events control our feelings. But this is a false belief. Our power lies in how we respond. The moment we understand this, we become free. Free from anger, free from fear, free from pain caused by things we cannot change. This freedom is not given. It is earned by constant practice, by building an inner fortress that no trouble can penetrate. When we refuse to let anything affect us, we become the masters of our own fate. And that, truly, is the highest form of power. Mastering the mind, overcoming the tyranny of emotions. We live in a world filled with constant noise, endless demands, and countless distractions. But the greatest battle we face is not outside. It is inside our own minds. The mind, when left unchecked, is like a wild horse, pulling us in every direction. Anger, fear, sadness, jealousy. All these emotions rise like storms, threatening to drown us in their waves. But what if I told you that these storms need not rule us? What if you could master your mind so that these feelings no longer have power over you? Many believe emotions are something that happen to us, like the weather, uncontrollable and unpredictable. But this is not true. Our emotions arise from how we interpret events, not from the events themselves. If we change how we see things, we change how we feel. This is the key to freedom. Think about anger. It burns inside us like fire. When we feel wronged, our first impulse is to strike back or let the anger control us. But the wise do the opposite. They pause, breathe, and choose their response. They remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Anger, then, is not forced upon us. It is a choice we make. And once we see it as a choice, we gain power over it. Fear is another master that controls many. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Fear can freeze us, stop us from moving forward, keep us trapped in a cage of what-ifs. Yet fear itself is just a story our mind tells us. The real power lies in facing fear, stepping into it with calm and courage. Marcus Aurelius, a great emperor and philosopher, faced dangers and uncertainties every day, yet he remained composed. He reminded himself that fear comes from imagining terrible things that may never happen. To master fear is to live in the present, accepting what is and letting go of what is not. Sadness and grief are heavy burdens, but even they lose their grip when we learn to control the mind. Seneca wrote that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Much of our sorrow comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. The Stoics teach us to focus only on what we can control, the present moment, our thoughts, and actions. When we learn this, sadness becomes a visitor, not a permanent occupant. Jealousy and envy tear apart our peace because they bind us to comparison. But what good comes from measuring our worth against others? Our value does not come from what others have or think. It comes from living in accordance with our principles and virtues. When we detach from envy, we find joy in our own journey. To master the mind is to practice daily. It means observing your thoughts without judgment. When a destructive emotion arises, do not run from it or suppress it. Instead, watch it clearly, understand its source, and gently let it go. This is the work of building mental strength. We are not born with this power. It is forged through struggle and discipline. Each time you resist giving in to anger, each time you face fear calmly, each time you refuse to be swept away by sadness, you become stronger. Your mind becomes like steel, unyielding to the storms. Remember, the world outside will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, pain, and disappointment. But the inner citadel you build can protect you. No outside event can shake your peace unless you allow it. This is not a distant dream, but a practical reality. The Stoics lived this every day. They understood that life is short and often cruel. Yet they chose to be masters of themselves rather than slaves to circumstance. So look inward. See your thoughts as clouds passing through the sky of your mind. Do not grab onto them or push them away. Simply watch. In this watching, you find freedom. Mastering the mind is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about choosing what to let affect you and what to release. It is about finding a stillness inside, a calm that no chaos can break. This is the path to true strength. Not the strength of muscle or wealth, but the strength of spirit and mind. We walk this path together, learning, growing, and becoming unshakable. The tyranny of emotions can be overcome. The mind can be mastered. And when it is, we live not as victims of life, but as its victors, living beyond circumstance, embracing true freedom through self-control. We often believe that our happiness and peace depend on what happens outside of us, on the people around us, on events, on fortune or misfortune. But what if that belief is the very thing that keeps us trapped? What if true freedom lies not in changing the world around us, but in mastering how we respond to it? To live beyond circumstance is to live in a place no storm can reach, a place inside us, untouched by chaos, unshaken by pain. Think for a moment about how much of your suffering comes from what others say or do. How many times has a careless word disturbed your peace? How often have you let anger or sadness grow inside you because of things beyond your control? We give power to external events by letting them shape our emotions. But this is a choice, and with it comes the possibility of change. A great Stoic philosopher once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that much of our pain arises not from what actually happens, but from how we choose to think about it. When we realize this, we begin to see that the true battlefield is not outside, but within our own minds. There is a story of Epictetus, who was once a slave and had every reason to be bitter and angry at life. Yet, he found freedom in one simple truth. Though he could not control what happened to him, he could control how he reacted. This insight gave him power greater than any king or ruler. The chains that bound his body could not touch his mind. He lived beyond circumstance because he knew that his inner freedom was more valuable than any external condition. This is the core of self-control, the ability to govern ourselves even when the world tries to pull us apart. It means training our mind to stay steady in the face of insult, loss, or disappointment. It means refusing to give away our power to things that are beyond our command. When a storm comes, instead of fearing it, we become the mountain that endures it. But how do we reach this place? It begins with awareness. When emotions rise inside us, anger, jealousy, fear, we must pause and ask, is this feeling helpful? Does it serve my purpose? If the answer is no, then we must gently but firmly let it go. This is not weakness, but strength. Strength to refuse to be a slave to our impulses, strength to choose peace over chaos. We live in a world designed to distract us, to make us chase after fleeting pleasures or fall prey to endless worries. But those who choose to live beyond circumstance see the world as it truly is, temporary and outside of their control. They focus instead on what they can control, their own thoughts, their own actions, their own will. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words remind us that no matter what life throws our way, our true strength lies in this. the way we choose to face it. Living beyond circumstance is not about becoming cold or uncaring. It is about rising above destructive emotions to a place of clarity and calm. It is about meeting hardship with courage, loss with acceptance, and insult with dignity. This is not an easy path, but it is the only path to true freedom. When we practice this every day, we build a life where external things no longer dictate our happiness. We become like a deep lake, still and clear, no matter how the wind blows across its surface. Others may lose their peace in the storms of life, but we remain steady, not because we have no feelings, but because we have mastered them. In this mastery, we find something far greater than comfort or wealth. We find a freedom that cannot be taken away, a peace that no one can disturb, a joy that does not depend on anything outside ourselves. This is the promise of self-control and living beyond circumstance. The journey is lifelong. Each day presents new challenges, new storms to face. But every time we refuse to be shaken, every time we hold firm, we grow stronger. We become not victims of life's events, but victors over them. This strength inspires others, too. When people see someone calm and unshaken amidst chaos, they recognize something rare and powerful. They see a soul that has been forged in fire and come out unbroken. So, let us walk this path together. Let us choose to live beyond the world's chaos. Let us embrace the freedom that comes from mastering ourselves. For in this choice lies the greatest power any human can hold, the power to be truly free, no matter what happens outside. And remember, true freedom is not a gift we wait for. It is a fortress we build inside ourselves, a fortress that no storm can ever destroy.